Hi everyone, this is my Module 7 discussion. So our first question was, after reviewing the information from Module 7, describe your thoughts toward online learning at the K-12 level. Do you think it's appropriate for students to complete online learning, and what parameters should be in place? I would say that I think online learning in the K-12 level is not necessarily ideal, especially in like the K through 6th grades, just because they're so young and I feel like they need to be around interaction and they need to be able to have tactile learning, and I just feel like online cannot do that. I know that there are some programs that offer that, but I know that the price range is pretty expensive, and I feel like children just have to be in that environment with a real teacher, real desks, real, just real everything. So but I do think that it could work in like a 7th through 12th area. I do think that it could be nice to have, especially for a student who might be sick a day and you just have Zoom on hand. Or like I know that high school is not not as much tactile as elementary, so it could be more beneficial in that area. I I wouldn't say that I think it's appropriate for a student to complete online learning. I don't think it should be a requirement. I know that it can be beneficial in some areas, but I just feel as though it's a little bit extra because of the fact that ideally we don't want to learn online, and we learned that this year with COVID. It's just not ideal. So I don't think that any student should really have to put themselves through that necessarily. So our second question is, do you think every state should require students to complete an online course prior to high school graduation? Why or why not? Again, I just feel as though I don't think it needs to be required. I really don't. It's just not, I feel like it's not a skill that you would need. Maybe a year ago it might have been nice, but not now that we're progressing from the pandemic. I feel like it's not as necessary as it used to be, if that makes sense. I know it kind of all hit us in a whirlwind when we hadn't done those online classes when COVID hit. We all hadn't ever done it, so it was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is a new area that we have to figure out. But I don't think it should be required, just because it's not something that I feel like would come into play unless you want to take online classes in college, if that makes sense. So, what did you learn most from the K-12 video and the Lawrence Virtual School brochure? I learned that virtual school can be done, and it can be done efficiently for students to learn the correct way. If that's how they learn, then that's how they learn. So yeah, that's kind of what I learned, is just it can be done right if that makes sense. So yeah, you can get the same results on an online learning as in-person learning, is what I took most from the videos. So yeah, that's my discussion response. Thank you.